Hi, this is Dr. Will at NFNLP, and today I wanted to talk about going back to the future. If you are going back to your future, I was thinking about this the other day. As some of you know, I started really accepting private clients again. I didn't for quite a while because I was tied up with a couple other projects where I didn't have the time. I only had a very, very select few clients. Well, I've started accepting more clients now, so it's getting me back in the groove. But I had a client on the line, or we were talking. I use Zoom, and they basically lost their pizzazz, their zazz, their zip. Hey Kathy, hey Gene. I would say they've lost their passion, right? And as I get a lot, it was the underlying thing was an addiction, and they were trying to get repassionate, right? Because when you're burned out, when you're suffering from an addiction, when you're doing things, maybe you lose that passion, right? And so how do you find it if you can't think of anything that you're passionate about, right? And because your life goes through stages, maybe things change and this and that. So one of the things I was taught a long time ago is to go back to your past to see those things that used to fire you up, those things that ignited your passion, and then step into that feeling of passion, just whatever it was, and see if you could still do it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Things change, and then you even have to look at, why did I leave this thing that I was so passionate about, whatever it happened to be. And I had the chance to test this myself this week. That's why I was going to do this Facebook Live a couple hours ago and didn't get around to it. I started karate again after several years of not doing karate. And I love karate. I like it. And it makes me passionate. I get into it, but I couldn't tell you why I quit. And in fact, the way my life usually works, I'm working with some people, trying to get their passion going, getting them motivated to do some things. And I was at the health club working out and started talking to a guy. See, I think I'm gonna go back to karate. I found somebody that teaches a style I like and do that. And this guy goes, well, I just train by myself. I just make a space and I do my, my katas is what they call them in that. In Taekwondo, they call them forms. And, I practice those on my own, and I put up a board, a Mashigeri board, and, I'm hitting the board and doing all that stuff. And I'm like, I started to think I could do that. Well, with discovering your passions, one of the things today's talk is about is also just being honest with yourself. In recovery, one of the things they say, to thine own self be true. And pretty much, it started in the 12-step world, and it ripples through almost every clinical treatment of addictions, which is you have to have rigorous honesty if you really want to recover. And when people hear that, I always call it cash register honesty, as my friend Bill Finley, who I just said hi to, we had a sponsor used to say that there's a difference between cash register honesty and self-honesty. And just because you can admit like somebody gave you too much change, or be somewhat honest with other people, can you look in the mirror and be rigorously self-honest? That's the kind of honesty it takes to overcome an addiction, and that's the kind of honesty it takes if you want to reignite that passion for whatever that passion happens to be. And so when I was at the health club and the guy said that, and I started to, and I just finally said, I just don't have the self-discipline to do that kind of training at home. I never have. I train better with other people. It's probably why I joined a health club. I tell people in the health club, join a health club, well, yeah, you can buy this stuff for your house and do it there. I won't do it. I just know me, And when it comes to karate, I do better when I'm at a club. And I teach if they ask when I'm really into it, but I've never wanted to run a dojo. So there I am. So at first I had to get gut level honest. I don't have the discipline to do it by myself. Obviously, it's been about 8 years since I trained hard. And why did I stop? Well, I was traveling and then I hurt my knee, but that was a long time ago. I could have got back into it. So what stopped me, right? And then when I started back, I found that passion. So when you go back to your things in your past and you find some of those things that you were passionate about, find out where you feel that passion in your body, right? Then you can look at like, why did I stop doing this thing that I love to do, right? And maybe people lose that burn, that desire, that spark, passion, whatever you call it, because they're not doing anything in their lives that really ignites that kind of thing in themselves. Sometimes we have to do certain things to earn a living, maybe with our family, maybe certain responsibilities in life in general. But if it doesn't light your passions, then what, right? So how do you do that? Do you remember what that passion felt like? Because if you have passion for something, you have passion for it. Not everybody else will. And that's the great thing about human nature. Everybody likes something different. I was talking to a friend of mine about a movie, and he directs and stuff, and he says, "Oh, did you ever watch Game of Thrones?" I said, "Not really, couldn't get into it." And he starts trying to lecture me on it, and I said, "I don't know. It just didn't turn me on. I watched some of it, and it's like, meh. It never ignited my passion, right?" And a lot of my friends down here in Florida, they love to play golf. I have no desire to play golf, right? I just looked like an audition I got to do where I might play a golfer for a commercial, but I have no desire to play golf. My friends love it; they get turned on by it, but they have absolutely no idea why I like going to karate, drenched in sweat, working out with people literally young enough to be my grandkids, and it's whatever it is, but it's my passion. It's not your passion. And one of the things I think that we begin to lose our passion, our drive, our spark is when we try to fit our passions into what other people say you should have. I don't know if she's still on the call, but we had Kathy. She jumped on. Hi, Miss Kathy. And she's also into theater like I am. And in fact, we did a play together, and we were talking backstage about a lot of people don't understand why people like to do like community theater. I've done professional theater. I've been paid for that, movies, commercials, all this other stuff. But I still like just doing a play, right? Even if it's community theater. Why? It's a lot of work. You got rehearsals for probably 3 or 4 weeks. Then you got all the nights you're doing a show. And the show we did together, Men Are Dogs, Florida premiere by Joe Simonelli, who came to see our show. That was fun. It's a lot of work. It was a month-long run and 22 or 24 performances. And it was a lot of work, but I love it. And, and it's not getting the applause. Some people I know do theater, they like the applause. I just like doing the part, right? And getting lost in it. So whatever it is, it is. And then, then you can go back to things you used to grab your passion, see if you still have that passion. And if you have that passion, you can step into that feeling of passion, find that passion, and see where it is in your body, and then see what else you can begin to tap into that might fire that passion so you can go to do new things. Again, in addiction recovery, which is kind of my specialty, we're always working with people about that because maybe they left their passions behind when they get caught up in the addiction. Alcohol and drugs, especially, will take away the desire, the drive, and maybe the ability to do some of the things that you love. So if you remove the alcohol and drugs, get those out of the equation, what are you going to do? Can you go back and do some of those things that you have passion about, right? Can you recapture that passion? And so that's the kind of thing that we need to do when we're looking at this. And again, realize that your passion is just whatever your passion is, right? Don't beat yourself up if it's not someone else's. Because many times, especially those of us with addiction issues or low self-esteem issues, we're going to try to do things maybe because we think everyone else thinks we should do it, whether it's play golf, whether it's do this, whether it's do that, whatever it is, it is. People are always surprised that my dear wife still does trapeze. She flies, and today she helped out at a circus camp, and she loves it, right? And some people, they just don't understand it. It's a lot of work, especially out here in the beautiful Florida heat. So whatever it is, it is. And again, too many times we try to codify, why do we love what we love? It just is. And once you tap into that, then your life can begin to change, right? And so once you begin to do that, then you can move toward the things that you need to do if you want to change your life, if you want to get the life that you desire. And then you can tag it into whatever else that you're doing. I had the wonderful opportunity to to begin to study, neuroplasticity, which led into neurobiology, and now this whole thing in like epigenetics I'm studying, right? How that all this stuff works in your brain. I find it fascinating, right? And it makes me feel good. I like learning things that I do not know. They always say the difference between a scientist and a zealot. A scientist knows what they know that they don't know. And a zealot doesn't know, but they think they know everything. There's so much I don't know that I'm beginning to learn that just makes me go, whoa, this explains some of the other things, in my life or in my passions, right? How your brain works, how this stuff has a tendency to work. So I just wanted to do a thing about going back to your past to grab something you used to be passionate about. And first of all, look at why did you quit it? Why did you quit doing something that you were passionate about? Was it because you physically couldn't do it? Maybe financially, maybe this, maybe that. There could be outside reasons, obviously, that would drive you. That's understandable. Or was it other issues, And then you can see if you could still get that passion back and then drive it to do other things. Because the trick is, and I see this a lot in my counseling, and I talk to a lot of my friends that are counselors and therapists, hypnotists, psychologists, and we do agree with this, a lot of them I've talked to, with the idea that a passionate person is passionate about many things, not just one thing, right? And so when you have passion, that's why I say he's a passionate person or she's a passionate woman. It's like they have multiple passions. It's not just like hypnosis or NLP or recovery or addictions or neurology or acting or martial arts. A lot of these people have a lot of different passions, right? Because it fires them up. It makes it feel good to be alive. And again, this is just what I wanted to talk about today. Put it out there. Again, if you like this on Facebook, click like and share. If you're watching this on YouTube, still click like and share, leave a comment, do those kind of things. We appreciate it. Again, this will go out. So again, what is your passion? What is something that you're passionate about, right? And, see what else you can tag that into, right? Again, because passionate people have multiple passions. So again, I'd like to just say hi to everybody and realize, it's okay not to know. You don't know what you don't know. As my friend Chris Seward there always heard me kept saying, you don't know what you don't know, right? And of course, what destroys everything is when you don't know, but you think you do. As I said, that's a zealot. And we're seeing that way too much in our culture, and so let's open up to beginning to learn more and do more and help more people. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody, but find that passion, find something in your past that you were passionate about and step into it. See if you can still redo it, if it's physically and economically viable for you, and see where it takes you, right? And then have fun with it, and then find that passion and put it with other things that you want. I see Stephen is on the line, and he's very passionate about many different things, and him and I share a passion: exercise, working out, staying in shape. And and our dear friend Tony Robbins is into that. So, find those passions, whatever it happens to be, and have fun with this. And I'll see you all as we trudge the road to happy destiny. So for my, this group on, now that the Facebook Live has ended, how can you use this in your practice? How can you use this with helping other people, right? The first thing I would say is, and I'm guilty of this, sometimes we begin to think other people will share our passions. And obviously with some of the things I'm passionate about, martial arts, theater, things like that, other people don't understand it. They might say that it's nice, but they don't understand it, right? So what I'd like you to do is think about, again, and I think some of these are self-discovery. What color is your passion? Where do you feel it in your body? How do you know you're passionate about something? And then, step into that feeling, or have your clients, this is good exercise, step into that feeling and see, is there things that ignite a little bit of passion? Can you jack it up, right? Can you take that feeling of passion, this is a good exercise for us, and put it with something that maybe you kind of like to do, but maybe you need to do more, and make that a passion, right? And then you'll be pleasantly surprised that it drives you to do new and more exciting things. So that's it for this thing. Just a quick shout out. So I shall talk to you all soon. Have a great day.